Yo, 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 what the hell is good? It is Jackie Boy up in this house. Yo, konnichiwa, hola, all that good shit. So, welcome to my channel. You'll have to excuse the eye. Some dumbass thought I could get in a lucky hit the other day. He's getting his holes diddled in a cell right about now. But anyway, that aside. Yeah, so, on this, let me introduce you to my channel. So on this channel, basically, I make a few videos here and there. Maybe I talk about, a few things that interest me. Usually Sega and Capcom related. Yeah. I have this series called, Who the Fuck Is, where I talk about, obscure Sega characters and the universes they come from. And I also, talk about, of course, different timelines and explain them, because holy crap, they require a bit of explanation sometimes. However, if there's one thing I love doing more than anything, it is, where'd I leave that damn remote? Here we go. Oh. Come on. There we go. If there's one thing I love doing more than anything, it's making these. These playlists right here are something I really genuinely love doing. So, I guess, for example, here are the Sonic and Mega Man timelines, basically the big names of Sega and Capcom. I have, stuff for different, pretty much every, different Sonic and Mega Man, universe ever, as you can see here. And of course, down here I have all the Sega and Capcom franchises, timelines, so, and I spend months at a time, usually making sure that all of these are, perfected, so, yeah. And of course, it's just, like you can probably see, there's a lot of them. And basically, this is for anyone who really wants to become initiated with the lore of these different, franchises, but also doesn't have that kind of time to play the games themselves and master them and all. So, this is for all that. And, of course, granted, I spend as much time as I can making sure these timelines are as comprehensive as possible. But, for example, sometimes I don't have the materials needed. For example, I could only find the trailer for the first game and the trailer for the second game of Full House Kiss. I could not find any gameplay other than one with commentary, and I just do not put commentary, I just don't do commentary in my timelines. It's just something I prefer not to do if I can help it. Other than that, of course, you also have other playlists that I didn't make, but other people did make, so thank you for that, because it's spared me some effort. Of course, you got, Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog over here, you got, and you're full of shit! And, the Ruby Spear Show, you got Sonic Twitter Takeover, which is another alternate reality of Sonic. Of course, you got, some Not the Chow Sonic X comparisons between the Japanese and US versions. You got the Yakuza stage play, Ace Attorney stage plays, Devil Summoner, the foot fetish one. That show was weird. You got this Super Dimension Neptune vs. Sega Hard Girls crossover game. You also got alternate canon and non-canon playlists down here. Basically just, for example, for Echo the Dolphin, you would have the Sega Master System and the Genesis version, and the PS2 version, the case of Defender of the Future. But yeah, I used the Sega CD versions for those, so, And, then of course you have down here the special, these are unique playlists that aren't actually timeline playlists, but for example, this one's an introductory course or whatever, to basically pretty much every Sega fandom ever, from Jet Set Radio to Sonic to Yakuza to even Dawn of War, all of those communities. And yes, if it exists, there's a community of it. much as, you know, YouTube would like you not to believe, but it's simply the cold hard truth, is that there are Sega communities for literally everything. And YouTube has done a very valiant effort in trying to keep us divided as hell over these years. So fuck all that. Anyway, and I also have over here Sega and Capcom Kindred Spirits, which is, you know, basically it does a side-by-side comparison of the different, you know, Sega and Capcom properties, and of course fandoms. So you would have, like, you know, over here, of course, you have all the things you would expect, but then of course you have other actual fan projects that they have in common, like down, like right here, or you have, like, you know, there's these dumbass memes here, and of course, yeah, you just have, like, a lot of different things here that you can use comparison. Like, here's, you know, some comic dubs in common, and, you know, just there's some fan animations, fan games, just, like, there's a lot, but yeah. And then of course you have, like, Sega Snippets, which is a little series of mine where sometimes it's memes. If you've been if you've seen my channel before, you've definitely seen this video. Classic. But I also do, like, other videos here. Sometimes, not always memes, sometimes gameplay. Like, usually flexing how much better I am than you. Just kidding, obviously. But also sometimes flexing just how horrible I am. Yeah. But, I'm human after all, you know. I have my weak points. But anyway. You know, you also have Who the Fuck Is, which, you know, the most recent one I did was on Gabriel Angelos. But, you know, they're pretty much, you know, short rant videos where I kind of talk about the most obscure Sega characters imaginable, from Zetsumu to Vichama to Gabriel Angelos to even Princess Lucien. And yeah, these are characters I'm sure 3 out of 4 of them you've never heard of. Anyway, yeah, then of course you have these video essays and opinion pieces. I don't like to do these that often because they don't really jive with me. They're not really my shtick. But, you know, I'll do them every once in a blue moon. Then you have, of course, Sega Timelines Explained, which, as you can see from, like, these numbers, go on for a while, especially in the case of Wonder Boy. That one was pretty damn extensive. I was going to do one on the Phantasy Star timeline not too long ago at the time of this recording this, but that didn't pan out. It was going to be, like, nearly 5 hours long, so, like, 3 more hours-ish. But that didn't quite pan out because I accidentally deleted the whole thing, which I am still pissed about, but whatever. And then, of course, you have Capcom Timelines Explained as well, which don't normally take as long. I don't know, maybe I'm just a lot more brief when it comes to that, but yeah. Then, of course, down here you have, like, of course, all the videos I uploaded. I recently uploaded a whole bunch of Wonder Boy manuals and Monster World manuals, so you can check those out whenever you want. Then, of course, you have, like, down here you have all my subscriptions, and I recommend checking out every single one of these people here because I'm pretty much hooked up to the entirety of the Sega communities in general, so yeah, if all of these people are worth subscribing. If you want to get more, you know, well-versed in the Sega fandoms. If you recognize any of these names, good on you, but if I were to show you all of them, we'd be here for literal hours, and, you know, I mean, come on. But, this is just kind of a brief overview video, so I'm not going to go through all of them, but I will show you a few of them, you know. It's like, yeah. Yep. Yep. But, yeah, that's my channel in a nutshell. Yeah, beyond that, there's not really a whole lot else to say. I am extremely protective of my community members, and, you know, I also very much, if any of you are ever going through anything, feel free to, I'll be more than happy to lend you a shoulder to lean on, or an ear, whatever. But, yeah, I mean, we're Sega fans. We take care of our own, you know? We're not like those Nintendo filth over there who, you know, are always fucking each other over every 5 seconds. And we're also not pretending to love something that we actually hate. Or actually should hate and genuinely love it, which if you do, there's something fucking wrong with your brain. But anyway, like we're not nostalgia blinded, most of us. Can't really say much for say the same about classic Shining series fans, but that aside, yes, that was a very subtle jab at ya. You know who you are. But yeah, no, it's yeah, this is my channel. I hope you subscribe. Hope you please check out those timeline playlists, because I put a lot of time and effort into those. Holy crap, sometimes months at a time. And yeah, welcome to the channel. This is Jack Moore, the Sega Superfan, signing off.